Topic two, take it away.
Greg, I'm going to introduce a new topic, as you know I am prone to doing. And I just have to say, this is a nod to our absent third co host today. Earlier in the week, he mentioned Fergie's discography, Stacey Ferguson, for those unaccustomed. And this little segment I like to call Big Teams Don't Cry. Can you do the honors of leading us into it, Greg?
La da da da.
The smell of your jersey lingers. Can I at least get the chorus?
Am I just singing the regular words?
Yes, because the premise for this segment is teams that miss these respective players that transferred out.
Oh my God. Do you want me to sing the chorus to Big Girls Don't Cry right now?
I do, yes.
I hope you know, I hope you know that this is nothing to
Nothing
do
to
with
do with
you.
you.
It's personal, myself and I. We got
We
some
got some
straight
straight out to
do,
do.
and I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
miss
miss
you like a child miss their blanket.
I gotta get him. Yeah. So the premise here is, like this has nothing to do with you. Wink, wink. How good would these teams be had they just paid their transfer what they wanted, retained them, et cetera, et cetera. So I want it to be. I have a list of players that we'll discuss that I think would have been pretty realistic to return to go back to their prior spot. And I want you to tell me like how good this team would be had they actually retained this player.
Okay.
In my notes, I said the transfers evoking the most regret among their former coaches and fans that would have their coaches swearing this has nothing to do with him.
I don't know how
Um,
you do this, man. I truly am in awe of you.
Thank you, thank you. But the first player I have on the list is Darion Williams because
Oof.
This is a guy to me. I feel like Texas Tech could have kept him.
Oof. I mean, this is a 10 out of 10 Max Payne scale, I think.
Is it as simple as if Texas Tech keeps Darion Williams, they're the best team in the country right now, the national title favorites?
Yeah.
Like, are you telling you had a chance to have Christian Anderson at the one, these two knockdown shooters who are content to just bomb threes and guard with Donovan Atwell and Tyree Bryant both have good size. I think Atwell needs to, I would say he's trying to guard. He just isn't there yet. He'll get there as he adjusts to a high level of competition. But then you don't get Lawan Watts. I think Lawan Watts is fine, but he's small. He can't really check like Williams can. And then if you brought in Luke Bomboye to be your rim protector and you got JT Top and put up these crazy numbers next to them, yeah, that's the best team in the country. Do they if they just retain Darion
I mean,
Williams?
there's a legitimate argument that those three guys, Top and Anderson Williams, are each three of the top 10 players in the country.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
and
Texas,
that's something as a Tech fan, I don't think I'd get over that. Like, how often do you have a chance to have that type of talent on the same team? Crazy.
he's the type of player when he portaled, I was like, okay, I'm sure Texas Tech is going to figure this out, and if he doesn't go to the NBA, he'll be back in Lubbock, and they just didn't. And I don't know if there was something personality wise that wasn't meshing, but it's like this seems like just look at their football team. Look at their is
Yeah.
it their softball team? Like they can pony up money like it's nothing. And
Yeah.
so that to me is the biggest like question mark where Tech will still be good, but Williams is just so much better than Lawan Watts, and
Yeah.
I'm sad for them. Second up on the list, I had Henry Vasar. Like, how much better do you think Arizona is if they have him playing Mo Krivas's minutes?
This might be a consistent theme depending on the other names you introduce. I think they're worse.
Really?
It's not because I think Vesar's worse than Krivas.
Mm-hmm.
It was too crowded.
Mm.
It was way too crowded. I think when you have three guys trying to play 40 minutes that are all of similar ilk, it's better to just get rid of one and let the other two shine. I think Toby Awaka looks improved from last year. I actually think Krivas also looks improved. I like Vesar. He's probably the best of the bunch, but this Arizona front court is like nasty. There's room for Koa P. I think it would only get in the way.
This would be like for me. I was just watching that Arizona UConn game. I was really impressed with Krivas. It seemed like he was starting to put, and he's done in other games too, of putting like that potential into actual production. I mean, he finished with 14 rebounds. I think he had a couple assists to boot as well. I still feel like Vasar's the better finisher. Vasar's just so explosive coming off of ball screens and finishing above the rim. I think he and Krivas are probably about even as rebounders. They both have their shortcomings there, but can have those double digit rebounding nights. But that like had Mo Krivas transferred and it was just Vasar and Awaka, and you're not trying to split as many minutes. I think there's a chance they're better, but it's a difference of being like a top three-ish team and a top five-ish team. Like it's not that much different.
Yeah, if we go down the domino effect of like you should have kept this guy, not this guy, then I agree. But
Hmm.
it's hard to nitpick Zona right now. Like that's my title pick. I don't want anything different.
Yeah, I'm with you. Next up, I have Denzel Aberdeen. How much better is Florida if they have him instead of either Xavier Lee or Boogie Fland?
This is a fun topic. That is a complicated one.
He's probably wishing he didn't leave.
So is the thought is that they would have Aberdeen instead of one of the other two
Hmm.
and not in addition to the two.
Correct. Yeah.
In my head, they would have still tried to get the other two.
I don't know if they would have had the money to keep all three though.
You don't
If
think so?
Aberdeen got the if Aberdeen got let's say Aberdeen gets offered over 2 million by Kentucky. I don't know if that's what he actually got offered, but he probably did based on that $22 million roster price tag. Let's
That
say,
that's true.
and I would guess both Lee and Fland are in that neighborhood. So what if Golden and them boys hear that this offer comes through and they're like, you know what, we don't need to go after Fland because I think Lee committed first. We're good bringing in Xavier and Lee and pairing him with Denzel Aberdeen.
I think
I
they're
think Florida's
worse.
better. I think they're better.
Really, I think they're worse. I thought Aberdeen got absolutely punked by Jeremy Fears.
Mm,
I know a
that's
lot of
fair.
guys will, but
Yeah.
I think he's playing above his level right now, and that's part of Kentucky's struggles.
I just thought Aberdeen, like, as much as he got punked by Jeremy Fears in Michigan State, he was the only member of that backcourt who showed up against Louisville, and
True.
still think that means something. But next up is a guy we talked about in the last topic, Cameron Carr. Like, how did he only play in 4 games last year? That's insane, dude. This
Yeah,
dude couldn't see the court in Knoxville. Like,
it's
how much
not
better are
not a
they?
great look.
This is a team that can't score outside of Gillespie and Nate Ament. Like, how did you not keep this dude?
Trying to remember, it was just the Chaz Lanier show. Maybe
Yeah,
Cameron Carr should have been going crazy.
but he's also like, how did you not make space for him though? Like he's
Right.
got good size. You could have turned him into a good defender. This one, I probably would put him like right under Darion Williams for the ones that hurt the most.
Probably. I don't know what to do with Cameron Carr. Gave him respect in the last segment because I still don't think he's this good. And I think like I'm just shocked every time I see what he's doing. But
Yeah.
Tennessee for sure, I'd be like, how did we let that go? How did we not get that to happen?
Next up, do you think Kansas would take either AJ Storr or Rylan Griffin back? Do
No.
you think they're? I
I
don't
think
really
they
either.
well, no, it like they should be better with those guys. Rylan Griffin year two would have really intrigued me, but I don't trust Bill Self to do what he should do with those guys.
It's kind of a sad state of affairs if that's how you feel about self.
Like I expect anyone who transfers to Kansas to be the worst version of themselves right now.
Man, that's brutal. But it is, I mean, it's warranted. It's warranted based on what's happened the past 3 years.
Like, what do we think Darion Williams would be doing at Kansas right now? We think he'd look
I
like
would
he does right now?
I would like to think so, but
I don't think so.
hmm,
Maybe that's harsh by me, but
yeah, yeah. I mean, you have a reason to think that just based on how other transfers have flamed out there in the past 2 to 3 seasons. So,
right.
last one I have for you, Greg. Teased it in the comments. Trey Donaldson.
Damn it. This one's probably the most complicated one to answer. The whole internet thinks Michigan would be better with Trey than Elliott. There are reasons, parts of the game that I think would be improved with Trey for sure. Long term, I don't think they would be. Like this year's Michigan team would have a huge playmaking issue if it was trying to play Donaldson Burnett in the backcourt. Like Danny Wolf covered up everything last year. All it would lead to on this team is way more Mara. Mara would play 30 minutes a game, and I don't think Mara is good enough to do that.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna stick with my guns and say Michigan would not be better with Trey Donaldson instead of Cadell.
Wow. Can I follow up with one question about my team before we end this topic?
Of course.
Carolina was in on Trey Donaldson for a little bit. They got in late, and it seemed like a day or two after they entered the fray that Miami just closed the deal. I think with this UNC team right now, the reason when Kai and Evans has looked good, it's been because everything runs through Wilson and Vasar, and those two dudes just like they do all the playmaking. They bury the brunt of the shot creation and the shot. Like I guess Luca too. Luca will get them shots up, but I think Evans is effective because he knocks down threes and gets out of the way. And I think Trey Donaldson could do that and then someone be a better defender. But based on watching Trey Donaldson for a year on your or 2 years on, was it? No,
One
he's only on
year.
your team for 1 year.
One
Do you
year.
think he could be like a better version of Kyan Evans in terms
Yeah.
of the role that he has at UNC?
I think Trey's a souped up Kyan Evans. I think that's the correct way to describe his game. I think there's higher upside there. He really is not a point guard at all.
Hmm.
Like he just isn't. He can't do it. He's a tiny little shooting guard that wants to shoot threes and get to the rim. He also had confidence issues last year though, so he's not a perfect player by any means. That's why he's at Miami. But I do think he's better than Kyan. The most interesting twist version of this entire exercise, if we're doing our two teams, to me by far, is would you be better with Cadeau still?
I do not think so. I think he would mess up what Vasar and Wilson have completely.
It's
I think you want
possible.
I think you want spacing around those guys. I think you want guys who don't need the ball in their hands. And Evans is far from perfect, but I think he is good for the role Carolina needs him in.
It's possible. I just don't really, and this has nothing to do with what Michigan looks like right now. When Cadeau was surrounded by talent at Carolina, they were great.
Hmm.
You got talent again. Like
Yeah.
I do wonder what those I don't think they would look worse with a pure point guard instead of Kai and Evans next to them.
Yeah. It's a fair assertion. That's just my personal thought is like
Yeah.
I want Vasar and Wilson to by far be the guys with the highest usage on this team and with the ball in their hands the most, and Cadeau would screw that up.
I think it's very funny that we're both like, yeah, I think our current team is good. Like I wouldn't change anything. And meanwhile, I'm miserable with my team. So